Okay, I made a video just before, and I said the word tangential. Um, going off on a tangent. And for years, like I'll admit something. I had to go online and look up how to pronounce tangential and whether it was tangential, because for years I thought it was tangential, because that makes a bit more sense in a way. Like, where's the sh? Why do we need the sh sound in there? Tangential. It just makes it more difficult to say. Tangential is pretty. Maybe people think that that means it's some sort of gentle tanning booth or something. I don't know. Come to Tangential, where you'll tangential tangentially. But anyway, I looked up tangential on thing, and it got me thinking. Like, for a long time now, people, the term grammar Nazi. People have been really pretty cruel to people who say just don't know how to spell something, or aren't great at sentence structure or even writing. It's kind of this notion that if you don't know how to write, we're not going to pay attention to what you write. And look, I used to, as a student of English, and the language I speak, as a student of that, and as a for a long time believer that it was a precious thing that needed to be looked after and kept as it was, for future generations. Even though I used to think that, these days, after spending so long now on the internet, I just think what someone's trying to say is like way more important than the way they're trying to say it. Like, if you getting caught up in the details of whether someone has used correct grammar, correct spelling, correct punctuation, all of those things, you might be missing out on a pretty valid point they have to say. And it's not always true that, obviously, that people who can't necessarily read or write don't have anything to say or aren't smart. I mean, that is really silly. Um, what about people with dyslexia? What about people with learning difficulties? Do they have any less relevance in this world just because they can't speak to you exactly how you need them to speak to you, or write to you exactly how you need them to write to you, or read exactly what you've written, exactly how you've written it, exactly how you want them to read it? I mean, it's really unfair. Like, I think I've done it before. This is me learning from that experience, hearing what other people have said about it, and kind of realizing, yeah, the language in general isn't some weird cultural thing that and historical thing that needs to be kept the same, because it's history proves it isn't kept the same. There are new words being added to the dictionary every year, new, and yes, according to always incorrect ways of using those words, that have just become the way people say it because enough people have used it incorrectly that it's now the way to use it. And instead of kind of being upset that lamenting the loss of the technical use of that word, and it's like, maybe just kind of embrace the fact that that's the way people use that word now. Language evolves. We should be evolving, and we shouldn't be scared of that, and we certainly shouldn't be judging people for it. So please stop being quite such a grammar Nazi. Just because you can spell, it doesn't make you smarter than somebody else. Okay.